Well, namaste and welcome back to the second day of our online yoga retreat organized in celebration of the International Day of Yoga 2021. I hope all our friends in the Federated States of Micronesia are doing well and that you enjoyed the session yesterday led by Ms. Cara Miller. Yesterday, in her session, Cara helped us go beyond the physical aspects of yoga and also told us about the the depth of authentic yoga, where we not only limit ourselves to the physical practice, but as we say in India, she did talk about moving your body with the right bhavana, with the right feeling, with the right emotion. And today, in a similar such session, Kara is going to help us explore and discover some other aspects of yoga and helping us to move towards slowly, step by step, towards mindful movement, as they say, which is the core of yoga. So over to you, Kara.
Thank you, Vishpanjali. Hello, everybody. Aloha from the island of Oahu to all of my friends from the island of Yap. I'm repping for you today, Mogethin. I want to say Kaselehlie to anyone from Pohnpei calling in. Lenwo to my friends in Kosrae. And Kapina Moringe to those of you in Chuuk. So I'm so happy to be back with you on day 2 of the celebration of the International Day of Yoga. I'd like to give a very warm thank you to the Indian Embassy in Manila for hosting this great online event and for inviting me to be a part of it. So yesterday, we started talking about the real meaning of yoga. I started giving some examples about different components of the practice. We talked about the importance of the breath, the mind, and of course the body, and these 3 things coming together. We also talked about the deeper meaning of yoga from the actual word yoga itself, meaning to yoke or to bring together. And this idea being to bring together the individual mind, the individual consciousness with universal consciousness or divine consciousness. So taking some of what we learned and then got to explore yesterday, I'd like to go into a very short crash course of yoga philosophy with you today. So we'll spend the next 5 minutes talking story about this. And same as yesterday, please feel free to be interactive. I know we're streaming on Facebook Live. So you can send emojis, you can send comments. And if you do have any questions at all about anything that I share with you, please feel free to write it in the chat and I'll make sure to address it. So why do we really need yoga? What's the big deal about yoga? Especially during this pandemic over the last 1.5 years, a lot more people have started to become interested in yoga, not just for the physical health benefits, but for the mental health benefits as well. And yesterday, I also took that a little further and I mentioned the emotional health and the spiritual health and well-being that yoga can help improve as well. So, crash course of yoga philosophy. Why do we need yoga? Well, what do we all want in life? I have a really wonderful meditation teacher, and he puts it very simply. What do we all want in life? 2 things, he says. 1, well, we want to be happy. And part of being happy is this idea of contentment. And taking contentment a little bit further, contentment also involves a sense of peace of mind, peace with where we are, who we are, what we have. So we want to be happy. And then what else? We want to minimize our suffering. So suffering is a necessary and inherent part of life. But yoga helps the suffering decrease in our overall experience of life day to day. So it helps us find happiness and peace of mind, and it helps us suffer less. So how does yoga do this? You can imagine your eyes looking out and seeing the world. Well, yoga describes something that happens in this process. Something happens from how your eyes are looking out at the world and then perceiving the events of the world. So in the language of yoga from India, remember we learned this yesterday, the language is Sanskrit. And one of our sacred texts of yoga that I like to use sometimes in teaching is called the sutras, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. The word sutra you can think of as meaning like a thread. And the sutras thread together some of the teachings of this ancient and sacred path and spiritual science of yoga. So in one of the sutras, we talk about what happens when we look out and we perceive what happens in the world. And in Sanskrit, this word is vritti, the vrittis, the movement, the fluctuation. So think about water. You look in water when there's no waves, it's clear. You can see right down to the reef. You can see the fish, you can see the coral. But as soon as there's wave, or if you hit the surface of the water, you can no longer see. Everything is kind of moving. It looks blurry. So this is what yoga says is happening all the time, all the time. We're not seeing things as they really are. It's like we have a veil over us. So why is this? Why is this? Okay, yoga says this is because we go through many experiences as soon as we come out of the womb as babies. We go through all kinds of experiences. And these experiences leave impressions on us. They leave impressions on us inside, in our brain, in our cells, in our body sometimes. And then when we have these impressions, it impacts the way we see things and experience things. So a word that I like to use and that a lot of yoga teachers like to use this is triggers. So we get triggered by various things that are happening based on past experiences, based on the veil, based on the vritti, the fluctuations that impair us from seeing things as they really are. I hope you guys are still with me. We're almost there. So yoga teaches us that because we have this veil, these vrittis, our thoughts are colored. So if you think of a cell, it can have a charge, a positive charge, a negative charge, or a neutral charge. So a positive charge or a negative charge, in yoga we call this colored thoughts. The word for this is klishta. Klishta, colored thoughts. So in yoga, the goal of yoga is to move from colored thoughts, vritti, trigger, charge, into aklishta, uncolored thoughts. Okay, so I hope I haven't lost you. If you can think of something that's a hard topic for you to discuss with a loved one, with a boss, a coworker, maybe it's money, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's kids stuff, maybe some of those topics you have some strong emotions about. Maybe they're triggering for you. Maybe they create an experience for you where your thoughts are klishta, are colored. So the practices of yoga help us remove this veil. Yoga's Chitta Vritti Nirodha is the full sutra that talks about the vrittis. Yoga helps calm the agitations, slow and still the fluctuations of the mind. Yoga helps us move from klishta to aklishta, colored to uncolored. How does it help us do that? A lot of different ways. But that is really the purpose of yoga. Why do we practice yoga? So we learn our minds. We learn our thoughts are colored. We learn to observe our thoughts and not always listen to them, not always trust them, because they are veiled. Okay. Part of this practice is not just the physical body, but it's meditation. So today we'll do about 35 minutes of movement. And then at the end tonight, we'll have some time to end with a nice meditation. And in this meditation, I'd like to teach you one more Sanskrit word tonight. In this meditation, we'll work on something called sankalpa. The idea of sankalpa, the power of the mind, the will, the discipline, the commitment, the dedication of the mind towards an intention. And then if you've ever heard the saying, where the thought goes, the energy flows. That's the idea behind sankalpa. So we'll end class with that tonight. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that brief discussion, talk story on yoga philosophy. Please remember, ask any questions in the chat if you have them. All right, so let's move our bodies a little bit. I have a yoga block like last night. I'll be using this yoga block to support me in some poses. I also have a yoga bolster, which is really just a yoga cushion filled with some nice bean bags. But like I mentioned yesterday, the beauty of doing yoga online, and we can't really see each other, no pressure at all. You can take breaks, sit on the couch, grab some of your pillows, use them to support you in poses. So use anything that can support you from your house, like a water bottle, a book, a pillow, a blanket, anything like that at all. And thank you so much for joining. All right. I love to start in child's pose. Child's pose is actually a very gentle inversion. So we learned inversion yesterday. We are going to review some of the things we learned yesterday. So big toes coming to touch behind you, sitting back onto your heels. So right away, this is flexion, a deep angle in the knee. If this is too much, put a pillow right there on top of your calves. You can sit the hips back on the pillow. So you see right away, the angle is less in my knee. So an important part of the physical practice of yoga is always really listen to your body. And you should never have any sharp or shooting pain. So come out of a movement or a pose right away if you do. And try it in a different way. Now, child's pose, a gentle inversion, because it's actually taking the chest and the head and bringing your chest and head just slightly lower than your hips on the mat. So go ahead and bring the forehead down to the mat. Let the arms reach out in front of you. You can spread the fingers wide and feel your palms, both of them connecting to the mat. Feel your forehead as well, connecting to the mat, and turn your head right and left. So massaging your forehead on the mat. Maybe roll the head around so you're massaging more up around the hairline. And then massaging around the eyebrows. And a very important energy center right between the eyebrows, Vijnanamaya, your third eye center and third eye chakra. A lot of energy stimulating here. Breathing deep breaths through your nose. So Ujjayi breath in yoga, it helps filter the air, slows down the pace of the air leaving on your exhales, and gives something audible, something you can actually hear for your mind to focus on. So make your breath sound like the ocean with a little constriction in the back of the throat. And at the beginning of this practice tonight, just tuning in, how are you feeling? How have you been in your day today, in your mind, in your heart? How have you been feeling in the body? And how would you like to feel at the end of this practice? So this is a great time just to set an intention for just the next 40 minutes. How would you like this practice to help you shift? In what way can it help you shift? Thinking about this, taking one more deep breath in through your nose. And then open the mouth and sigh this breath out. From your child's pose, simply walk your hands and body over to the left. So reaching your arms out to the left. If you'd like, you can stack the right palm on top of the left palm. So feeling a stretch to the right side of the body. Take another inhale and exhale here. Walk your hands back through center. This time, walk them off over to the right. Breathing into the left side of your body. If you'd like a little bit more, you can stack the left palm on top of the right. Then walking the hands back to center and walking them in towards the body, moving into a tabletop position. So turn the fingers to face the knees. I always like to start off by just stretching and warming up the wrists. Not in all styles of yoga, but in the style that we call vinyasa, a type of hatha. Hatha, you can think of hatha as like incorporating both body, physical movements, and a lot of practices involving the mind. Hatha yoga, utilizing the body for various poses. Vinyasa, doing the same thing, but vinyasa being really known for what we call flow. So turn the knuckles to face down, fingers still facing the knees, just stretching out the wrists here. Then in the flow style of vinyasa, we tend to do a lot on the hands. So really important to warm up the wrists. Bring your knees and ankles together, tuck your toes, and sit back on your tucked toes. Great way to warm up your feet. Bring your hands to a fist and just circle them out. Circle in one direction a few times, and then go the other direction. Then still sit on your toes. Make sure they're tucked under. And we're going to do another forearm drill. So bring your palms out wide and open and close them as fast as you can. Seems simple, harder than it seems. Go as fast as you can, faster, 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 faster. You should start to feel a lot of sensation coming into your forearms. Okay, go faster, faster, faster. Last 3. Hopefully feeling your feet warming up too. Last 2. And 1. Shake your wrists out and then stand up on the knees. You can untuck the toes. Give them a little pat. Interlace your fingers and press your palms up. Take a full inhale here. And exhale, side bending to the left side. So coming into our first 2 movements of the spine, the lateral bends. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lateral bending to the right. Back to center, inhale. Then just let your hands and arms come down. I'm going to mirror you guys. So bring the right leg out to the side. Toes of the right foot face forward, and just let your right hand rest here. Inhale, take your left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, lean over towards your extended leg, and then roll out the top wrist, and then roll the chest open and circle your entire left arm. So moving into the shoulder, and you can bend the elbow if that feels good. So always feel free to explore your own variations of movements. So both arms coming back up to the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bring your hands down in front of you like a tabletop position. Then just start to walk out towards the extended leg. You can lean into the extended leg. So this should be stretching your hamstring, your inner thigh a bit. Take another breath in and out there. And then the hands can be underneath the face. So this move is a little bit tricky, but just do your best. So plant the right hand down and inhale the left arm up to the ceiling. You can press into the right hand and twist the left arm up to the ceiling a little bit deeper. Inhale. Then exhale, take your left hand behind the right. Then just thread it right underneath there, all the way onto the ground. Lay down onto your left shoulder. Lay down onto the left side of the head. And then really pressing your left arm into the ground, twist and reach your right arm up to the ceiling. So reaching your right arm up here, you can again roll out the wrist that's in the air. You should be feeling this kind of along the left shoulder blade. Take one more inhale and exhale. Then pressing your way back up to the palms. Now walk your hands over to the left. Plant your left hand near your knee, so it should be in the line of the knee. And then take your extended foot and bring that into the same line. Reach your right arm straight up. So you can stay here or flex the right ankle and start to float the right leg up and off. And now reach forward through the right arm. So really lengthening through the arm, lengthening through the leg. Take a deep breath in. And exhale one time, crunch your elbow into your knee. And inhale, open it back up. And then exhale, bring your foot down. Reach back up through your arm, coming back to where we started. Relax your arms down and bring the knee back in. Okay, give your knees a break. Bring your hands down to tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift through the hips, and pedal the legs out in your first downward facing dog. Just bending one knee and then the other. Spread the fingers wide. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Press your chest back towards your thighs. Then slowly walk up to the top of your mat. Let your feet be hip width distance apart, toes out, heels in. Lower your hips to a squat. Press your knees open with your elbows. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, forward fold, soft knees, parallel out through your feet. Then with your feet hip width distance apart, spread your toes. Sit your hips down towards chair pose, reach your arms forward. Kind of pull your shoulders back a little bit so they come back into the socket. And then if you look down towards your knees, they shouldn't be way in front of the toes. They should be behind the toes. And then sitting your hips down a little bit lower. Sit a little bit lower, feeling the heat warm up the thighs. And then press into the feet, stand all the way up. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend your elbows, reach your elbows back. And then just let your arms come down to your sides. Walk your feet together. So, do you guys remember the name of this pose? It's not just standing, although it looks like it. We call this Tadasana, mountain pose in yoga. Active. So active feet, spread the toes, active legs, engaging up through the inner thighs, softening the shoulders, roll them back and down. Take a big inhale and reach your arms up, maybe look up as well. Exhale, hinge from your hip creases, soft knees, heart leading into a forward fold. Relax the head and neck at the bottom. Inhale, lengthen the spine, hands perhaps to the shins, shoulders roll back. Exhale, plant the palms, step right into downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, inhale, shift to plank position, weight coming forward. Exhale, knees can be down or up, elbows tightly bent to the body, Chaturanga Dandasana, lower all the way to the belly. Shoulders roll back, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Inhale, lift the heart, press it forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift the hips. And then simply lower right back to your tabletop. And from tabletop, take your left leg out to the side. Then bring your hands towards the body, come up to standing on the knee. Just make sure the knee's under the hip. And you're grounding into the outer edge of your left foot, left hand resting on the leg. Take your right arm, inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, leaning over towards the left hand. So bringing a nice stretch into the lateral side of your body here. You can relax the head and neck. You can circle out the top wrist. And then a couple full circles with your shoulder as well. Inhale, both arms reach back up towards the ceiling or the sky. And exhale, the hands will come down towards the tabletop, lengthening the spine as you walk over towards the extended leg. So you should feel a nice deep stretch right away coming into your hamstring and inner thigh, Lengthening the spine and softening as you fold. One more breath. Then hands can walk back to a tabletop position. So setting up for the twist, the left hand under the face. Really press into your left hand as you start to reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Pressing your left hand and twisting a little bit deeper. Inhale. And exhale, take your right hand and thread it behind your left and then reach all the way down on the mat. Lie down on your right shoulder. Lie down on the side of the head. Then really anchoring your right arm down, twisting left arm up towards the ceiling. So press into your right arm and twist a little bit deeper, maybe looking up. One more breath here. Walking back up to your palms. And now the palms will walk over towards the right side of the knee. So right hand plants. Check the line. The right hand should be in line with the knee. Then replace your left foot so you feel pretty balanced. Reach your left arm straight up. So you can stay here or flex at your left ankle, float the leg up. Maybe lengthen through the left arm as well. So one long line through the left side of the body. Lengthening through the fingers, through the foot. Big breath in here. Exhale with control. Take the knee to the elbow. Inhale. Open it back up. And as you exhale, bring your foot back to the mat. Reach up through your left arm and come back to where you started. That was called Parigasana gate pose. Knees coming back together. Great job, you guys. Bring your knees and feet together. Tuck the toes. Sit the hips back towards your heels. Arms to help you balance. Float the knees off. Tiptoe pose. Parigasana. So finding the balance here. Holding, breathing for 3, for 2, and 1. Lower your heels. Take this into a forward fold. Walk the feet hip width distance apart, and then just relax your head, relax your neck. And then walk the hands forward on the mat, finding your way back to downward facing dog. Take one deep breath in your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, deep breath out. Bend the knees, look forward. Start to walk the feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthening all the way up to standing, reaching your arms out and up. And exhale, hands to the heart. We'll go through just one traditional sun A. Inhale, reaching out and up, lengthening Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Soft neck and head. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step to plank. Full breath in your plank. Knees can be down or up. Exhale, chaturanga. Cobra, or if you're ready, upward facing dog, the knees will lift off the mat. And exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out, bend the knees, look forward. Walk, step, or hop the feet up. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit your hips low, chair pose. So if it's okay for your low back, ankles, knees, everything together here. Sitting your hips way low and then reaching your arms up. Take a full breath in. Exhale, right to your twist. So use your right hand on the thigh, press it, hook your left elbow outside of the knee. Then press your palms, make sure your knees and hips stay in one line. As you press your palms, twist the chest up and over your thighs. Inhale, lengthen the spine a bit. Exhale, twist. One more breath. Exhale, twist. And then release, forward fold. Relax the head. Take a breath there. Then back to chair. Sit your hips low. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, set the hips lower. Twist to your second side. So use the left hand. Hook your right elbow outside of the knee. Make sure the knees and hips stay square. Press the palms and twist for 3. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist 2. And 1. Fold forward. Step the feet hip width apart. So bend the knees a lot here, bringing your belly towards your thighs. Use the peace fingers of both hands and hook your big toes. And then really press the big toes into the fingers. Lengthen the spine, so knees are bent. Belly to your thighs, shoulders back. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, relax your head and fold forward. The elbows can bend out to the sides. The knees can stay bent. Drawing the crown of the head down. One more breath in. Releasing your toes. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. All the way to standing, long spine on the way up. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Bring the weight right into your right foot. Kind of spread the toes, get very grounded in your right foot. Lift your left knee up. Inhale, reach your arms up as well. And exhale, standing open arm twist. Left arm back, right arm forward. So lift your knee a little higher. Twist with your belly. If you'd like a bit more, the right hand can come to the outside of the knee. Press the knee back into the hand and twist the left arm open a little bit deeper. Come back to center. Inhale, reach both arms up. Lift the knee up as well. Exhale, take your left ankle on top of the right knee. Sit your hips low like there's a chair back there to sit into. Hands to prayer. Sit the hips a little bit lower. Maybe stack the forearms across your shin. Or maybe forward fold. You're welcome to have your hands on a block. Breathing into your left hip. One more breath. Coming back towards center, hands to prayer. So keep your hands in prayer, spine long. Now take your left knee back up with you to standing. Full breath in here. Exhale, warrior 3, left leg extends back. Reach the heart forward. Then take your arms to airplane arms. So reach them along the sides of the body. Then clasp the hands behind your tailbone. So stay balanced, gazing at one spot that's not moving. Roll the shoulder blades back in together. Press the knuckles towards your back heel. Square your left hip down to the mat. One more breath in. Exhale, lunge the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Pull your body up away from the right hip. Now long spine here. High on the ball of the back foot. Settle into crescent lunge legs. Press your knuckles back. Lift the chest up. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly release the hands. Reach your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Breath in here. Exhale, plant the hands around your front foot and start to straighten the front leg, hamstring stretch. Lengthening your spine over your right leg. Rebend into your right knee. Now this time, reach your chest past the knee. Hover the left leg behind the right and bring your hands to prayer. So a little Shiva squat pose here. Now all the way back to standing, right where we started. Inhale, lift the left knee, lift the arms up, big breath in. And exhale, hands to prayer, hands to the hips. Left foot over right. So left foot crossing over right, and then the heels turning out and the toes turning in. Now, I recommend finding a piece of furniture or something that you can bend towards. I'm going to face this way. And the important thing is the low back staying really, really long. So the hands can be on the hips. Take a breath in, long, long spine. And exhale from the hip creases, tailbone going way back, lower back staying long. So great time to hold a prop under the hands, And then using the prop, lengthening the spine and folding. You're welcome to walk the hands a little bit over to the left. Move your hips right and see how that feels. One more breath in and out. And slowly walking the hands back up the legs, long spine the whole way. Balancing back into the right foot. Inhale, lift the left knee, lift the arms up. And exhale, bringing your left foot into the inner part of the right thigh for tree pose. So really strong right leg. Stand up strong through your leg, kind of flexing into the thigh. Press back into the foot. Hands to prayer. So let your gaze rest out one spot that's not moving. This is what we call the drishti. Where are you channeling your gaze? Make sure the standing leg is still really strong. And today for fun, let's add a side bend to the tree. So left palm facing up on your thigh. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Inhale. And then with your exhale, start to lean to the left. Let your left hand slide down the leg. Reaching through your right fingers. Lengthening and feeling an opening across the right side of the body. It's okay if you fall, just do your best. And coming back up. Slowly release. Back to standing. Whew. And then notice how your right side feels. And don't worry how that went. As one of my teachers used to always say, just if you nail the pose, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a more peaceful person. So it's all about what's going on inside. It doesn't matter what it looks like outside. Come back to the front of the mat. This time, shift the weight over to the left foot. So spread the left toes, get really engaged. Lift up through your right knee. So standing up tall, lifting through the right knee, lifting through the arms. Careful to not lean back, kind of plug in around the hip and belly. Take an inhale. And exhale, open arm twist. So right arm back, left arm forward. If you want a little bit more, the left hand can come to the outside of the right knee. And then you're pressing the knee into the hand, opening through your right arm and chest. One more breath there. And coming back to center, inhale, lift the knee and arms back up. And exhale, right ankle on top of left knee, sit your hips back, figure four pose. So again, it's always fine to use props or anything at your house to help with the balance. And sitting your hips nice and low, potentially bringing hands to prayer and stacking the forearms across your shin. So giving yourself a nice hip stretch. One more breath. And slowly coming back to standing. Inhale, lift up through the arms, through the knee. Exhale, hands to prayer, warrior three. Right leg goes straight back behind you. And then bring your arms to airplane arms. So arms reaching along your sides. From here, interlacing hands behind your tailbone. Try to switch which thumb is in the front. And then roll the shoulders back. Press the knuckles towards your back heel. Long and strong through both legs, through your spine. Inhale. Exhale, lunge the right foot to the very back of your mat. Now stay high on the ball of the back foot. And maybe sneak forward in the front knee. Bend it right over the heel. Press your knuckles back. Lift through your chest. Full breath in here. Full breath out. Release your hands. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Anjaneyasana. Inhale. And exhale. The hands will come down around your front foot. Straightening through the front leg. So giving a nice deep hamstring stretch here to your left leg. Long spine. Next time you inhale, start to bend back into your left knee. So reach your heart past the knee. Hover your right leg behind the left and bring your hands up to prayer. So strong in your left leg Shiva squat. And then all the way back to standing from there, right where you started. Inhale, lift the right knee, lift the arms. And then exhale, crossing the right foot over the left. So just standing with your feet crossed, toes in, heels out. Hands can come back to the hips, stand up nice and tall, take an inhale. Exhale from your hip creases, tailbone back, belly in, chest forward. Lengthen, lengthen the whole way. So maybe pause halfway and try to get longer through your low back. That's the key in this pose. Folding in, great pose to use a block or something under your hands. And you can also kind of walk your hands over to the right side and let your hips move left. See how that changes the stretch at all? One more breath in and out. And slowly walking the hands back up. Bringing the weight back into your left foot, strong left leg. Inhale, lift up through your right knee, through the arms. And then exhale, use your hand to support right foot anywhere onto your left thigh. Just avoid the knee. So the left leg is really strong, flexing through your quad muscles, pressing the thigh back into the foot. Press your right knee back. And then when you're ready, start to play with growing your tree. Or if you took the challenge on the first side, the side bend, the right palm will rest up on your right thigh. Inhale, lengthen through the whole spine. And exhale, start to lean over to the right. So reaching the left fingers out right. Try to feel the stretch in the lateral part of the left side of the body. Just do your best. Woo. Coming all the way back up to center. Inhale. And exhale. Tadasana, mountain pose. Come back to center. And then just pause. So standing at attention is another name for this pose. And just notice, how are you feeling in the body and how are you feeling in the mind? Did you judge any of that? Let all of that go. Big breath in and out. Okay, just finishing up the standing sequence. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Then as you exhale, take a big step back with your left foot and open to a warrior two. So warrior two, back foot is 90 degrees to the front heel. Front heel intersecting, if you drew a line from the front heel, it hits the arch of the back foot. Arms out nice and wide, deep bend in the front knee. So bring it right over the heel and then ground into the outer edge of the back foot. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Flip the front palm up, inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, extended side angle, form to the thigh, or even use the elbow to press the right knee open, roll left hip open, left arm up, or one long line through the left side of the body. Just here for 3, you're welcome to take the left hand to your low back, roll the left shoulder open. This is a half bind. Here for 2. 1, back to warrior 2. And then pressing into the right foot to start straightening this front leg. Walk your back foot a little closer. And then check this front knee. So when you straighten it, if it just kind of collapses into the knee joint, really press into your right foot. You can even kind of hit the thigh a little bit. You want strong engaged muscles here. From your right hip crease, lengthen through the right side of the body. Inhale. Exhale, triangle pose. Right hand can come down, left arm can come up. And then like there's a wall behind you, try to bring your top shoulder blade into an imaginary wall behind you. And then no weight almost at all in the bottom hand. Here for 3, 2, 1. Pull your way back up to center. Then turn the right foot in line with the left. So this is called star pose. Reach up through your arms, nice big bright star. Inhale. And as you exhale, heels come in, toes out, squat. And this is a goddess pose. Kalyasana. Try to open the knees, sit the hips lower. Bring your arms up. Breathing in here. Then open mouth, exhale. Back up to star. Square your feet. Inhale. And as you exhale, turn your left toes out and come right into warrior two, facing the other way on your mat. So right into warrior two, second side. Front heel intersecting now the arch of your right back foot. Softening across the shoulders as you're really opening across the chest. Flipping your front palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, extended side angle, lengthening left elbow, pressing the left knee open, right hip opening as well. Right arm to the ceiling or making one line through the right side of the body. You're also welcome to take a half bind here. And if you're taking the half bind, rolling your right shoulder open. Last two. Last one, reaching through your right arm back up to warrior two. And then again, pressing into your left foot to straighten the leg. Walking your back foot in a little bit closer. So checking in with your knee, making sure you're not locking it. Little micro bend, strong thigh. Hinge from your left hip crease. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, triangle. Light weight in the left hand. Right arm reaching up like there's a wall behind you. You're pulling your right shoulder blade back towards a wall, an imaginary wall. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Pull your way back up, star pose. Interlace the hands behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Arms can come up and over the head here. Releasing your hands down underneath the face. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, squat to the left. Left side squat. And then over to the right side squat. Inhale. Back to the left. Exhale. Then from here, go ahead and sit down onto your mat. You can kind of press your knee open. You can open up through the arms. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, look out towards the extended leg. Bring your knee down next to the leg and untuck the toes. So I believe I'm mirroring you. So facing your extended right leg. Try your best to feel both of the bones in each of the butt cheeks grounded to the mat. No pain should be in the knee. If there is any, just have the leg bent like this instead, or you can even have it open like this instead. Okay, breathing in, long spine. Exhale, flex the ankle of the leg that's extended and fold forward. So you don't have to fold too far. You're also welcome to bring a pillow or a prop onto your leg, maybe closer to your belly, and then you can lean onto that. One more breath there. And start to walk your hands back in. Reopen up through your left knee. Come back to the left foot. Torso on the inside of the knee. Reach forward. Try to reach so much and press into your left foot that you can sit off of the mat. And then maybe no hands to take the side squat to the other side. Then go back and forth a couple times. If you can with no hands, back to the right, and then back to the left, right, left. You know what I mean? Now you're on the right side, sitting down, facing towards your leg a little bit, opening up through the arms. Inhale. And then exhale, closing the arms and closing the knee. Left knee coming down next to, right knee coming down next to the left leg. Untuck the toes. So same thing, just protect your knee. There should be no pain. Square off towards the extended leg. Flex the ankle a bit. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, walking out over the extended leg and folding here. One more breath. Walking the hands back in, opening back up through your right knee. Come back to the right foot, torso, inside of the knee, reaching, sitting off the mat. And then see if you can press all the way up to star pose. And then step to the front of your mat. All right, standing tall at the front of your mat. Relax through your shoulders. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, wide arm forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to either down dog or plank, adding in a chaturanga and upward dog on the way. All right, we're going to do some hip love. So from here, lower your knees to tabletop. Bring your right knee up between the hands and then open out through the right foot. Then take the right knee and cross it on top of the left. So scoot the left knee up. So you want no space. Eventually, right knee really stacking on top of the left. Walk your feet out to the sides. And then slowly, using your fingers to help support you, start to sit your hips back. If it gets to be too much, you can put a block or a cushion under there, or you can sit all the way back onto the mat. Now you can also use your hands to pull the knees more on top of each other. So if this is not happening at all, you can be in just a much less deep cross. If it looks something like this, you can also just use pillows, literally anywhere to support the knees and the hips. So this is called Gomukhasana, cow facing pose. See if you can see the cow. Not yet. Adding the arms. So I think I'm having the same leg as you. So right knee on the top, right arm will come around the bottom of your back. So as the right arm comes around the bottom of your back, you can use the left hand and actually grab the wrist and pull the wrist. So your goal is to get the right elbow more into the middle of the back so the right hand can really reach up between the shoulder blades. Left arm will then come up and around from the top. And if you can't quite grab your fingers, then just use your shirt instead and grab somewhere on your shirt. So this is a really big lat opener as well as tricep. It gets into the shoulders and neck too. So once you have your arms and your knees, notice if you can see the cow. And then long spine, big inhale. As you exhale, try to just relax around your neck and shoulders. And if you feel pretty good here, you're welcome to lean forward and see if that adds any nice sensation. Leaning the chest forward. If it's too much to have the arms, no need, add the arms. You can just relax them onto the mat. Couple more breaths. And walking the hands back in if you folded forward, releasing the arms. All right, trying a hip mobility drill. So in your hip joint, there's like a bone that's a ball in a socket and it moves all around like this. So it's really important to train your hip, all the muscles that support this mobility. It's really important to train all those little muscles. So that's what this drill does that we're about to do. So from here, lean the chest forward. Okay, you should start to feel a stretch and then really press into the bottom leg, a lot more than the top leg, but both. And see if you can come all the way up to standing on the knees. And then very slowly, using your bottom leg more than the top, you bring yourself all the way back down. It's okay if the knees pop a little bit as long as there's no pain. Lean, no momentum, press into the feet, standing all the way up. and then slowly, 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 all the way back down. So try it about 3 times or so. Trusting that this is strengthening the hips. And then once you're down, right leg is on top of the left. I will not mirror you, so I'll lean the opposite way. Walk your right hand out, lean the left arm up and over. So this is a great time. You can put a prop underneath your right arm. Really press the right knee into the left so you're anchoring down your left hip crease, and this should give you a nice stretch around the left hip crease, around the left side of the body. Take 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then slowly coming back up to seated. Okay, you guys, it's fun to get to the second side. So the right leg is on top. Imagine a clock. You're going to walk in the counterclockwise direction. So hands going left. Start to lift your hips. Keep your feet where they are, and then just walk in a big circle. Walk the hands around. Your feet are like little pivot points. Feet are pivoting. Keep going. Walking, walking. Feet are pivoting. All the way back to the front. Sit back down. Your other leg should be on the top. So left leg should be on the top. Try to get the balance on both of your hips again. And now that the left leg is on top, the left arm will come along the bottom. So help it over. Right arm coming up and around from the top. And if you can't grab the fingers, then just grab anywhere on your shirt. You can also use like a lava or a towel. And just long spine, doing your best to soften around the shoulders. Take a deep breath in here. Relax on the exhale, or if you do have a little bit more space, you can lean forward from your hip creases. A couple more breaths here. And sitting back up, releasing your arms. You can kind of roll the shoulders out a bit. And then one more time for the same drill. So use your arms for balance, lean forward, and then pause, no momentum. Really press into the bottom leg more than the top and come up to standing. And do your best. Use your bottom leg more than the top to sit all the way back down. It doesn't need to look super graceful. Just do your best. Leaning, coming to standing, and slowly bringing yourself all the way back down. Then maybe one more time. Lubricating the hip joints. Now the left knee helping anchor the right. Left arm will reach out to the side. Right arm reaching up and over. One more breath. Then coming all the way back up. Okay, good job, everybody. Go ahead and uncross your legs. Just kind of butterfly the knees a couple times. Okay, one more hip drill. So still in seated, just plant the feet wider than hip width distance apart. Try to lift up through your chest. You can kind of hold this imaginary ball of energy. Now drop your knees to the left, and they should be pretty much in 90-degree angles from the heels to the knees to the hips. Then long spine, just twist a little bit. Look over the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, open the knees. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. Check those angles, sit up tall, twist the spine. Okay, we're going to go back and forth. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Back to center. And exhale. Now stay this way with the knees down to the right. They should be in about 90-degree angles. Now face your right foot, lengthen the spine, inhale, and then start to fold over that leg. Now you can just relax right here. You can also bring a prop or something, or you can make this more of a drill where you don't use your arms for support and you focus on the spine staying long, hinging from the hip creases, reaching your chest forward and just going as far down as you feel your limit, and then pressing into the hips and legs to come back up. So you're lengthening the spine. Inhale as you're lowering down here, lengthening the whole way, and pressing into the legs. Exhale, come back up. So you're either pulsing or you're just relaxing. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, pressing back up. And then inhale, knees to center. Exhale, dropping them to the left side. So check those 90-degree angles. And then same thing, square to the left foot. Lengthen the spine. Inhale as you're folding over. Exhale, pressing and coming back up. That's one. Two more. Inhale. Press and come back up. That's two. Last one. Inhale. Pressing, coming back up. That's three. Go ahead and lean back into your hands now and just let your knees go back and forth. All right. So if you don't have a block, you'll be doing a regular bridge. And if you do have a block, you'll be doing a supported bridge. So if you have a block, let me show you how to use it, unless you already know. Coming onto your back, and a supported bridge pose takes the block and actually places it underneath the tailbone. So I have it on the second height here, and I have the rectangle, the long direction along my sacrum. Now you can also have it just flat on the lower level. Let your palms rest up, or you can really press into the feet, lift the hips higher, and put it all the way up on the higher level. Now, any of those levels is fine. Just make sure that you have the block nice and low down around the sacrum tailbone area. The shoulder blades are tucked underneath the body. Palms are resting up, and this should feel pretty good. If you want more of an opening around your hip creases, you're welcome to straighten one leg. Maybe straighten both legs. Deep breaths through your nose. We'll be here for about 30 more seconds. If you want to play with taking one or both legs up to the ceiling, this will take you into a supported shoulder stand and just deepen the inversion a little bit, bringing more blood from the limbs down towards the hips and the heart. About 5 more deep breaths here wherever you are. And then when you're ready, slowly pressing into the feet, lifting the hips so you can move the block and roll down really slowly. Vertebrae by vertebrae, middle back coming down first, low back coming down last. And just rest at the bottom. Let the knees rest inward on each other. Let your back be flat. Then arms opening wide like a T position, knees coming into the belly. Inhale. And exhale, drop the knees over to the right side. And for more, cross the left knee over the right. Maybe scoot your shoulder blades a few inches to the right. And then looking out to the left to complete the twist. Come back to center, inhale. And exhale, knees can drop over to the left. And again, for more, cross the right knee over the left. Right arm reaching out, look out to the right. And then from here, rolling all the way over to the right side. Resting your head on your right arm. And just taking a few breaths here. Using the support from your hands and arms to press your way back up into a comfortable seated position. If you have a cushion or some pillows or a block, I do recommend using it at this point to sit on. So sitting up onto your cushion. Okay, so we're going to head into our closing meditation. Now, sometimes meditation seems intimidating. It seems confusing or difficult, and I just want to say right now, that a lot of times teachers will say the goal of meditation is to still the mind. And yes, eventually, when you have a regular meditation practice, the mind does become quite still. Now, that is not the case at the beginning. When you are new to meditation, it is incredibly normal for the mind to not be still at all, for the mind to be quite busy, in fact. And the way that one of my teachers explains it, that I still use to this day, is the following. So instead of trying to stop your thoughts, instead, simply try to shift your relationship to them. What I mean by that is instead of seeing that your mind is busy and you're having thoughts and feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Oh my gosh, this is really hard. I'm horrible at this. You're having a reaction. You're having a response to your thoughts. That is the part of all of this that I encourage you to work on, that I invite you to work on. So again, coming back, I tend to use ocean analogies a lot. It's like you're in the ocean and you're watching a fish, not fishing the fish, just watching the fish. You just are observing the fish. Unless you're fishing, you're not like analyzing what the fish is doing and thinking about where it just came from and where it's maybe going and what does that mean? No, you're just watching the fish. So try the same thing. Watching the thoughts. They'll come in and then they'll go. Try to allow them to come in and then go with ease. You don't have to grab it. You don't have to look at it from different angles. Just watch it. Watch the thought come in. Oh, thank you, mind, for sharing. And then let it go. Now, I often recommend holding something that has dimensions to it. So like this Micronesian flower made from coconut, as you all probably know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 petals on here. So even just tracing this flower with my thumb helps my mind stay focused on one point. Now, a lot of people in yoga will use mala beads, and they'll feel one bead to the next. And maybe they'll be saying a word or an affirmation, or in yoga we call mantra. Mantra is this repetition of sacred syllables in Sanskrit. So I'm going to put my flower down for now and invite all of you to join me with a very simple mantra practice to close. So we'll have a 5-minute meditation. You can do it. If the mind gets, distracted, no worries. Just bring it back. If your leg falls asleep, no worries. It's okay to move it. You don't have to stay absolutely still. Just do your best, okay? Spine is long. We went over this yesterday, the reason why, because there's a lot of important energy channels that are moving along the spine, connecting to the brain. Sitting up tall allows your breath to transport your prana, your life force, more effectively. The mantra I'd like to offer you all is Sat Nam. Sat Nam means Sat, Satya. It comes from the Sanskrit word Satya. Satya meaning truth. Sat meaning truth. Nam. Nama, namaste means bow. Nama, bow. Sat Nam. I bow to the truth inside of me. I am the truth. I honor my truth. That's the meaning behind Satanam. So we're splitting it into 4 syllables. And to give you something tactile, meaning touch, to focus on, each syllable will be each finger. Thumb to index, thumb to middle, thumb to ring, thumb to pinky, while you say the 4 syllables sa, ta, na, ma. Sat Nam, broken down. Sa, ta, na, ma. I like my palms up. Either one is fine. Close your eyes. Relax. Take a breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. And begin when you're ready. Satanama. 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 So keep going, or make up your own tune, or slow it down, or speed it up, or don't even worry about utilizing this particular mantra. If you have something else, you're more than welcome to use that. Or maybe if you're celebrating someone today who's important to you in your life, you want to just think about them at this point. The goal is to find something to rest your mind on, to focus your mind on. One pointed concentration, dharana. One pointed concentration. This is another of our 8 limbs. Dharana, focusing on one point. Satanama. Satanama. So you're already almost done, just about 1.5 more minutes of this meditation. I'm going to move into silence. Your breath should be moving naturally in and out. If distracting thoughts come in, just let them go with ease. Final 30 seconds or so, observing the breath, the mantra. If you're using a mantra, you can slowly let it go. And wherever you are, just bring your palms onto your thighs, facing them down on your thighs, encouraging grounding energy as you start off your week. So as we're moving into the next season of summer, moving into the next season in a lot of ways as we're slowly coming out of some of the pandemic and COVID restrictions, at least in some places of the world. Use your yoga practice, meaning these practices of mindfulness, of self-awareness, of reflection, of self-inquiry. Use all of this off of your yoga mat. The beauty of this practice is it's a living practice. It lives with you. It can be a life path. It can be something that you utilize in all other areas of your life. So take what you're practicing and sharpening here on your yoga mat into the rest of your life with you this week and into this next season. Bring your palms together in prayer in front of your heart. This is called Anjali Mudra. Sealing your palms together, you can rub them together and generate a little bit of heat. Rubbing the palms, making some heat in the palms. Then covering the palms over your eyes, feeling that heat, just soaking it in. Feeling grateful for this practice and all of the teachers that have come before us. Grateful for your own ancestors and teachers in your own life. Bring your palms to prayer in front of your heart and send out prayers again to all of those in the world who are sick, who are suffering, who need joy, who need peace. Send them your thoughts, your prayers, your light. And we'll take one big breath and an Om together, sealing in this practice. Breath in. Sigh it out through the mouth. For Om together. Inhale. I bow to the light within all of you. Thank you so, so much, Kahlangan, Kinisou, Kulo, Malalap. Have a beautiful evening. Namaste.